I'm Maya.
I'm Julia.
This is Vincent.
And we're the lineup.
And today we're going to talk about kind of like a back to school real talk, all about making new friends during like high school or uni, peer pressure, school anxiety and stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna do.
So a lot of people have been asking us, especially when we travel, like how do you guys make so many new friends? Because if you check our Insta stories, like you probably see that we usually make friends in every city we go to, and this also goes back into school, like how to make new friends in a new environment, at work, whatever. And basically for us, it's just putting ourselves out there and not to be scared of rejection. I know it's a very hard thing to do and it does take time, but just being open and being, I don't know, just welcoming to a new person and letting them be able to share their own life and experience with you, and you can do likewise. I think that's when you're fully able to make new friends as easily as possible. Because I remember when I was in high school, I was very self-aware. I felt like if I said something wrong, people would judge me, or that if I didn't fit in, people would also judge me. So I spent basically 1.5 years of my high school just feeling lost and out of place. Like I didn't feel like I belonged, because I was so focused on like my past and who I was and not like who I'm becoming. So I just always tried to fit in, but that just made me feel fake because I wasn't being true to myself. So when I realized that, okay, it's okay that I can be myself, and it's okay that I have other interests, it's okay not to be like the perfect example of whatever person you want to be or like that you look up to. After realizing that, I was able to make new friends that just accepted me for who I was and not who I was trying to be. So it's also very important, like don't look up to those like, oh, I want to be friends with the popular kid, because I was definitely not a popular girl in school. I was just there, you know. I was good at school, I knew people knew me, but I wasn't like extraordinary or something. And I think that you don't need to strive to be in a certain group of friends because they're cool or whatever. Like, what is cool even? Don't feel like you have to look for people that, like, this image you've built up of like, this is the type of people you should be with. Just be with people that makes you happy, and like people that give off a good vibe and support you and love you no matter what.
The key to making like lifelong friends is to just be yourself from day one. There's no point in trying to be someone that you're not, because then you're just gonna feel really uncomfortable in the friendships that you've made based on this person that you have been kind of radiating that isn't 100% yourself. And you're gonna meet people that share the same values as you, share the same goals, have the same outlook on life if you are 100% yourself from the very start. Because then you can just easily find out in the group of people which people you know you would click with, you know that you have the same values with, and you know that you could actually start making friends with. And like to the actual like making friends part, it's like dating, guys. It's like dating. You go up to a person, you're like, shit, you're cool, we should be friends. Or you just kind of, I think automatically if you guys share the same interests, you guys are going to be showing up at the same events. I think that's what happens with a lot of our friends, that we just kind of like, you know, we're at the same events and you just keep on seeing each other and you just end up saying hi to each other, and you're just like,
hey, let's
you just end up hanging out. Like, so I think just stay true to yourself, and like don't be afraid to like join clubs, especially in high school. I know that in Sweden we don't really have those kind of stuff that you can have, like that you have like after school activities, but I know like in the Philippines and in the US you guys are really big on like after school activities like band, and there's different clubs and stuff like that. So if you go to a school that offers those kind of things, definitely join as many as possible that you think are interesting, because then you know, like if you go to a certain club, you know that people that in the club are gonna have similar interests as you because they joined the club. So I just feel kind of do a lot of that stuff. If you're too scared to kind of like go up and say hi and start initiating the friendship by yourself, definitely take advantage of the stuff like after school activities, join drama or singing or choir, painting, whatever, because then you're really automatically gonna have people around you with the same interests. So I think those are really good. We met at this like audition for this dance group, and I remember that I went there by myself. It was such a big step for me because I didn't know anyone there. I was like, you know what, this seems like a cool group of people that I know that I'll have fun with,
because we share the same interests. And
exactly.
That was actually K-pop.
Yes.
Which is like, I was so ashamed of like
yeah,
in
no,
actually
exactly.
in high school. So this was like during high school time, but outside of high school.
I was like, I think the 7th grade, and I had just gotten into I just got listening to K-pop, and then I just, you know, was like, shit, no one listens to that. I felt kind of ashamed. But then there was this like group of people that kind of, you know, listened to the music together. They did that dancing, and then they just kind of was immersed in the whole culture. So I'm like, shit, I want to join that. And so I went there all by myself. I'm like, oh my god, why am I here? I was so nervous. But most of the friends that you guys see in our lives right now are friends from that group. So don't be afraid to join these kind of groups. Even if you go by yourself, you won't regret it. Like you're really gonna find like long life friends there. So,
and don't ever be ashamed of the people you truly click with. Like, don't think that you're gonna drop these friends for a better, cooler group, because by the end of the day, the people that been there from the start, or like that you genuinely click with, that you don't feel forced to be with, those are the ones that are gonna stick with you. So for me, I didn't have that many friends in high school, and today, like, I graduated high school like five years ago. Yeah, like I have contact with like 2 people, and that's fine for me because I found so many other friends through this group that was off high school. So let's say you probably don't find any people that you click with in high school, there's always gonna be like, your time is not, perhaps not then. Of course, like, go try and make friends in high school, but I really had like so few friends in high school, and I got so worked up about it. But then when I found like Maya and everyone through this group, I was like, shit, well, I found my people. Like, I don't need to look for this certain spot. Like, my people is perhaps somewhere else. You just have to venture out and find them.
yeah.
So our next topic is handling peer pressure at school, and especially working on your self-esteem and like being true to yourself. So I was never the girl that kind of like fell for peer pressure. Like, I didn't really start partying or drinking like super early because I didn't feel like it. A lot of kids started smoking early, for example, and I just like never felt like that was cool for me. Like, I didn't really want to waste my lungs like that. So that was totally fine. Like, me saying no, like I didn't want to smoke, that was totally fine for them and for me. Like, no one tried to like shame me for not trying to fit in or anything, but I just learned to say no early, and that really worked. Because if these people are gonna shade you for not doing something, like for doing something you don't want to do, why should you be in their lives in the first place?
I was never the kind of person to actually like feel pressured like into doing stuff like drinking, having sex, smoking, doing drugs. I never felt, because I kind of knew inside that I know where I stand. I know, you know, what I want to do and what I don't want to do. When I want to do it, it's going to be on my terms. So I really feel like you should really know and really be true to yourself and your values before you enter stuff like, you know, going to parties, doing this. Don't let anyone tell you you have to do something just to prove to everyone that you're cool or whatever. Like, because in the end, it's not them that will regret doing it, it's gonna be you. So really listen to yourself and like your gut feeling. If you want to do it, then do it. If you don't, then don't feel the pressure, don't feel the need to do it. If you can always do it next year or next week, even if you regret not doing it, you know what I mean? So just kind of lay off a bit and just listen to yourself, listen to your gut. I don't really know how it is in like different countries, but I know that especially in Sweden, people party and start drinking and doing stuff like that at a very young age, because it's not really frowned upon. It's just like, you know, you're living your life and stuff. But I was definitely late on everything, but that was totally fine with me, because I still went to the parties, but I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I was just there.
But you can
I was
still
just
have
with
fun
my friends,
without
you know.
all those.
Exactly, you can still definitely have fun without those. And it's better for you guys to learn that you can have fun without being intoxicated, without being on something. So it's better to just kind of learn from the start that you don't have to do all this stuff to have fun. You go there for a company, you go there for, you know, plus you can see all your other friends get wasted and stuff. You can just, you know, tell them about the stories. That's what I do. No, but just don't feel the need. And if you are in a group of people where you feel pressure, then you shouldn't be in that group to begin with. That's like taking us back to the previous question about finding friends that have the same values as you, that have the same outlook on life as you, because then if you have that around you, you will not feel you know, peer pressured. You might feel, you know, the fear of missing out, FOMO, but that's a whole nother thing. That's like positive. That's not you feeling pressured into something that you don't really want to do. So that you won't, if you have the right kind of people around you, that's not a situation that you should be in.
Because I feel very lucky that in our group of friends, like we have people that get shit-faced, we have people that drinks occasionally, and we have people that are hella sober. And that is totally fine. We still all go to the same events, parties, or like we chill at home. Like it doesn't have to be like me drinking or not drinking will not affect this other person. So in a group of friends, no matter what you do should not affect the rest of the group.
Exactly. Like me and Julia, I don't drink, but Julia drinks, but we go out together and Julia can drink as much as she wants, but that's not gonna affect me because I know I don't like drinking. I'm not gonna drink. So, but we're gonna go and we're gonna have fun together. So you kind of have to, again, just look at the people that you're around and see, can you, you know, do it. It's not, I'm not supposed to feel pressured by Julia drinking. You know what I mean? Then it's not, then you gotta look at that.
And that kind of leads on to our last topic for this real talk, and that is dealing with toxic people in your life. So I feel actually very lucky that I haven't dealt with that many toxic people in my life. I would say like maybe 2-3 people that I've kind of like dropped from my past that I feel like it was very hard for me to drop, because I'm a person that I care a lot about people. Like I want everyone to be happy and be good, and I don't want to be mean or anything, and I always put others before myself. But at these instances, I had to put myself first, because I had, for example, a friend that made me very depressed because of her actions, and she kind of like stabbed me in the back, and I was scared to confront her, very scared. So I fell into a depression for about 2-3 months. And that was very hard. She kind of like broke down my entire self-confidence, and I just felt so bad about myself, and I just didn't feel good. Eventually, I came to the realization that I had to drop her, basically. So I had an intervention with her. I told her that this and that you're doing is not making me feel good, and I don't think you can change this about yourself. So I told her that I didn't want to be friends with her no more. And after that, it was not my loss, it was hers. Because then she realized that she fucked up, and she even came back to me trying to become my friend again. But I still said no, because the way she made me feel was so intense, and I just felt so bad that why should this person be in my life? And I didn't listen to all my other friends that said this person shouldn't really be in your life. Like, why are you there? Like, we were living together and everything. And when I came to that realization, I was like, oh shit, like, why am I forcing myself to hang out with this person when she's not even like, she ain't even real? So I dropped that, and you know, life's been good since then. I think it's important to realize that maybe not everyone is for you, and if a person is making you feel bad, it could be a partner, it could be a friend, it could be a relative, whatever, don't force yourself to have contact with this person, or don't force yourself to, like, don't let this person get to you. And for the most part, just having an intervention could be the best, because you shouldn't give up on people like that. Like, people should always have the opportunity to change and grow and learn, and by confronting them and letting them know, like, this behavior of yours is very toxic, and if you don't change that about you, we can't be friends, or we can't be this and that. And that's very, very important. In our circle of friends, we're very quick to just address a problem when it comes, so that we don't even have to like think about it no more. Like, I don't know, it could be something as simple as you didn't take care of this jacket you borrowed and you ruined it. Just like for the next time, don't do it. It could be something as small as that, or just like a behavior that we didn't feel was very comfortable for us, and we just address it immediately so that we don't have to like, you know, build up this anger, and like the issues don't have to like overflow. So don't be scared to confront a person, because confrontation is not always negative. Confrontation is an opportunity to learn and grow so that you can build a relationship. And that's very important when you find new friends, or if you have old friends that are very toxic to you.
You gotta understand that people will do to you what you allow them. So, and we can't read each other's minds. Even though we might know something about the other person, we can't read each other's minds. So if Julia does something to me that she doesn't think will make me sad, but it makes me sad, then I have to tell her, like, okay, so the thing you did, it might not mean something to you, but it did to me, and it made me a little bit upset, because you guys are different people. People will kind of receive different stuff differently. So you can't think that if you find this one thing not offensive, that your friend will also, you know what I mean? So you gotta keep it very open and very like, okay, no, I didn't like that you can't say that to me. I don't know, I don't like how you're treating me right now. You guys gotta be honest about it, because we can't read each other's mind. How am I supposed to know that I made you upset by saying this thing if you don't tell me? And that's just, and if you don't tell that person, you're just gonna let that person keep on saying it or continuing with this behavior because you did not put a stop to it. So all of this stuff are in your own hands. So if you want someone to stop, then you tell them to stop. If they don't listen to you, that's a whole nother thing. But that's when you know, okay, I told you about this thing a couple of times and you don't seem to listen. I don't think this is gonna work out. You know, so you really gotta like put your foot down. It can be scary, especially if it's like a really close friend or something. But just remember that your best friend doesn't want to hurt you, and if that person unintentionally does, then he or she would like to know, because then he or she can stop doing it. You know what I mean? Because no one in your circle wants to hurt you intentionally, and if they do it, then you gotta tell them so they know that they're not gonna do it. And if they continue to do it, then you don't need that person in your life. You know what I mean? That's what happens, you know, like with relationships and stuff like that. You guys talk about your problems and you tell them, I don't like this. But if that person keeps on doing it and disregards what you've been telling this person, then it's just like, okay, you're not gonna take my feelings into consideration, that I don't think that it's gonna work out. So really, like, don't be afraid to tell people how you feel, because if you don't, then they don't know. It's really about just being honest with yourself and with your peers, and kind of like making that environment where it's comfortable for everyone to talk about how they feel.
So yeah, that kind of concludes our episode 3 of Real Talk. We really hope you guys liked this video and you found it helpful, especially now during back to school season and you're gonna meet your friends and make new friends, etc, etc. But yeah, let us know what you guys want us to talk about in the next one. Otherwise, we'll see you in our next video.
Adios!
Bye!